What is up, everyone? Andy Kruger here. Today's video, we're working the basics with my year-old Belgian Malinois, Freddy. Heel, sit, down, stay. That's it. Now, I made a video similar to this several months ago called The Basics. I'll put a link there. A lot of people seem to like it. Some people were wildly offended by it. But nonetheless, this is part 2, a check-in, if you will, and you can see the progression from that video to this video. Always keep in mind your training goals. Our training goals are a French Ring 3 championship. Now that involves a lot of very complicated and demanding exercises on the dog, but none of those are even possible if the dog doesn't have the basics mastered. And that's what this session is all about today. Sit back, enjoy, let's go. All right, y'all, first command is the heel command. My focus for Freddy in this session is to be unpredictable when I'm heeling. Unpredictable means at any moment, I could turn, I could back up, I could stop. It could be a right turn, it could be a left turn. Heeling means stay on my left side. It doesn't mean we're walking forward. Now, if every time I took Freddy out of his crate, I beelined straight out to this field, he's gonna start anticipating that and he's gonna start getting ahead and forging. But if every time I come out, I do something a little different, I turn at a different time, at a different speed, I back up differently, he's always on his toes, he's paying close attention to me and not just going on autopilot and thinking, okay, I know where we're going next. So even though it's a basic command that he knows pretty well, I can still use it to get him a good mental workout. Okay. Okay. Cushy, rest. So like I said in the intro, we're training for the French Ring program. When you step onto a competition field, the first thing you must do is place your dog in a stay and then go introduce yourself to the judge. So for my training, I heel him out onto the field, slow and easy. I put him in a down stay. I come over here, I talk to my imaginary judge, and then I go back and pick him up. So it's the same picture. He knows the routine. Every time he comes out on the field, he has to hold a nice down stay. Now you see that white strip that's in front of him. That's to teach him to lay down behind it. So if I walk up to a start line and I say down, and he lays down with his feet over, no points for me there. So he has to stay behind the line. That's why I'm using that bar there. Unpredictable, now I'm gonna go back to him. In a competition, I would now tell him to heel and go over to my first jump. But since it's training, I'm gonna be unpredictable. Cushy, rest. If every time I go back to him, I stand there and then a second later I say heel, he's gonna start to anticipate that, and then I'm gonna lose my stay points when I go back to the dog. He's gonna be very excited. He's gonna think, I know what's coming next. So we need to keep him thinking and on his toes. The basic commands, heel, sit, down, stay, I'm gonna work on those forever with him. It's not like, okay, he's got heel, he's got down stay, what's next? I wanna do something awesome. No. He's gonna be working on these commands until he retires. He can never be too good at these basics. Cushy. I can vary the amount of time I stand here. I can tell him, Cushy, rest. Again, this is all getting him a mental workout. Freddy, up, yay. So what I did there is I came and I picked him up. I gave him the heel command, but then I went backwards. In a trial, I'm gonna go forward. But in training, if I do that, I'm gonna get a dog that's forging. Okay? Cushy. Okay. Good boy. And that's the downstay I want. I don't want his front paws going forward over that mark. He needs to stay behind it. That's going to be very important for ring sport. Let's take the stick away from the child.
You're not going to have it? Thank you.
Now, exact same procedure with my sit stay. Assis, rest. I put my dog in a sit stay. I walk away from the dog. He has no idea what's going to happen next. I see. Rest. Okay. I see. Now, when it comes to the sit stay, I know everyone's thinking, oh no, my dog knows how to sit. What's next? How do I do something awesome? No, no, no. Sit stay is one of the most important commands. You can never practice it too much, and your dog can never be too good at it. What would happen in a trial is I would place Freddy in a sit stay. X, Y, and Z would happen. I would come back to him in this exact position, and I'd say, Freddy, OPA. And we would heel forward. That's for the trial, but this is how I'm gonna do it in training. Check it out. I see. Rest. So I put my dog in a sit stay. Now I'm gonna fake him out a little bit. He thinks it's very likely right now that I give him the heel command, so I'm gonna do the opposite. I see. Rest. And I do this a little differently every training session. It's never the exact same. I see. Rest. And if you look at Freddy's demeanor right now, I see. It's exactly what I want. He's not super high in drive. He's kind of chilling. This is kind of boring. It's exactly what I need. He doesn't need to be rewarded for heel sit down stay anymore. For the French ring program, he's gonna do jumps. He's gonna do sendaways. He's gonna do position changes. He's gonna do retrieves. He doesn't need to be jacked out of his mind to heel sit down stay. So no food, no toys. This is just, you have to do it to get from A to B. I see. Instead of releasing him into a heel from this position, I see. Like I would in a trial, I'm gonna do this. Free. Boy. I stand right in front. I give him his release command. Au pied. I gather my leash and we continue. Assis. Rest. Okay. Cushy. Okay. I'm mixing things up. I'm being unpredictable to the dog. I'm not doing a big song and dance for him. I'm not shoving food in his face, giving him toys. This is where he's at in his training. But remember, every dog is different. I'm not saying you need to drop everything you're doing and do things exactly like I'm doing with him, but just a little food for thought. He's a year old. This is about where he's at with the basics. So again, you can kind of gauge from the last video some of the progression. Okay. Another thing that's going to happen in the French ring program is when you're finished with your routine, just like when you started, you put the dog in a downstay and you go report to the judge. So when I end a training session, I always end it that way. Okay. Cushy. Good. Rest. My dog goes in a down. I report to the imaginary judge and thank him for the perfect score he's given me. Little details. I guarantee you your dog could be better at a downstay. When he's downstaying, he's not allowed to sniff around. He's not allowed to surf the ground checking for things. He has to keep the head up. He has to just relax there because this is part of the program. If he does this, this is what leads to him being able to bite the decoy, his favorite thing that he does. For the French ring program, I like a nice mellow heel, sit down. I don't need crazy, flashy enthusiasm because it's a long, exhausting program. He needs to save that energy for all the other stuff he needs to do, not just walking next to me. So I've specifically trained this not to be boring to the dog, but he'll sit down, stay, just very chill. Now I'm gonna go pick up my dog. I'm gonna mix it up. Cushy. Rest. And you could see there, if you look close enough, when I repeated Cushy, he kind of moved a little because he thought I might say OPA. So even though it's a basic command he already knows, I'm still giving him a mental workout with it. Thank you. Cushy. I don't need it right now, but thank you. I pick up the leash. For a lot of dogs, this is a trigger, a cue to get up. Oh, he's getting the leash. Every time he does that, a few seconds later, he calls me into heel. I'm excited. I'm gonna pop into heel when he grabs the leash because I'm a puppy and I anticipate. Bingo. Vary the amount of times at this pickup. Sometimes it's 1 second, sometimes it's 10 seconds, sometimes you tell him stay and just walk away. Hey, thank you, almost done. In a perfect world, I don't call him into heel until he has good focus on me. So if he's looking around for a decoy or for his toy, that's not a good time to call him into heel. He needs to connect first. Okay. Beautiful. Can't ask for much more than that. Now, am I going to walk straight forward like I do in a trial? Absolutely not. Okay. Heel means stay on my left. It does not mean we're going forward for an extended period of time. Those are the basics. Simple, easy. Now I could go into my send out. I could go into my positions, my retrieve, my jumps. For the sake of this video, I'll just show you the basics, but you get the idea. Like I said in the intro, you cannot have all that fancy French ring bite work if the dog has not completely mastered these basics. Au pied. a lot of clients, a lot of people that I've trained with, the dog, they show heel, sit down, stay, and they're like, okay, he's got that. Now let's do this, let's do that. He doesn't have it. I'm gonna be working this way until he retires, okay? For the next 8 years, we're working on heel, sit down, stay, a little different every time, and I'm always gonna challenge him with those commands. Just because you're not throwing tugs around, throwing chicken in his face, saying, yay, good boy, it doesn't mean that the dog can't come out and enjoy himself. I mean, his reward is he comes out of his crate and he gets to go do a bunch of training with me. I mean, I don't have to do that. I could just leave him in his crate and do nothing. So the way I look at it is, it's a huge perk for the dog. Oh, I'm coming out of my crate. Oh, we get to go on the training field and do training? Yes, yes, yes. That's where I jump. That's where I do sendaways. That's where I bite the decoy. That's where all the exciting stuff happens. So heel, sit down, stay, yeah, it's just mandatory. We come out, we do it, and just because it's not a big love fest, it doesn't mean the dog's not enjoying himself, having a good time doing it. So remember that. It's not always a big song and dance with constant rewards, especially if you want to compete at a level 3 program. There you have it. That's the video. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments, any questions that you have. Happy training. Remember, your dog is unique, so you need to do what's right by them. Until next time, happy training.